First and foremost, we want to thank you so much for choosing this episode of Two Dimes and a Token. We do have to give a disclaimer. This episode has a little bit of a sexual innuendo, goes very far down the rabbit hole. So if it's not your style, or if you're under the age of 18, we suggest that you back out, go check out another episode that we have. But if you are down for the ride, then by all means, continue with the episode. Welcome back to part 2 with the amazing Miss Jamie. This is fantastic. So unfortunately, our token had to dip out.
He's at the strip club now.
Yep, he's at the strip club though. He said we got through part 1, and he said, "Bro, I gotta go." So that was that's his next thing. But we are continuing. So let us dive in. You had a way you wanted to kick this thing off.
No, to me, I wanted to say like as a dancer, you have to keep yourself in tip top shape. So is working out a part of your ritual, or is it just like the job is enough working out in itself?
I could work out more and make it more of a ritual. But I stay pretty fit. I mean, dancing, walking around all night in heels, and also, I mean, I'm pretty good on the pole, so it's pretty athletic, I guess you could say. So there's some kind of strength to it. But if I would go work out more, I'm sure the product would be a lot better. You know, when people work out and they tone out and are really heavy on it, it does. You see the results. It does look good. But I'm just bare minimum. If I get up to go to the gym, that's probably just for mental health.
Gotcha. I'm just thinking like it has to be some type of balance to it. But at the end of the day, like you said, you're on your heels all the time. You're dancing, and obviously being on that pole, spinning around, does leave a little.
Well, it's more than just spinning around, but okay.
I'm gonna call it spinning around because that's all I see you guys do. Like
some shit that I've seen in there, and it's just like, wow, the leg strength on some of these women,
arm strength as well.
Oh my god,
it's just I feel like it's an unspoken talent. I have some friends that do like pole dancing classes. And
I have friends that they do features with poles. They're in it's like a league, like not like a league, but like it's a sport. Like pole dancing is really becoming a sport now, and they're like recognized in that community. So, I mean, if I had stuck with it a little bit harder and didn't not want to do that all the time, I probably could have gotten there as far as professionalism.
Professional
with it.
athlete in here as well.
Listen to me. In my second life, I'm gonna have a pole in my house. My first life, I can't do it.
You do it now.
You know, that'd be kind of hard to explain to myself. Hey, son, you see this pole right here? It's not meant for you to play around. This is not a fireman type thing. This is for
not
daddy's,
a game.
This is daddy's entertainment only. This is daddy's entertainment. But you don't want to send off the wrong image. Hey, I can see him going home to his mom and saying, "Hey, Dad has a pole." In the middle
I can see where that could get a little awkward.
Get a little awkward. Like, what you mean your dad has a pole? Like, yeah, he has a pole that he just.
It's a big shiny one.
That every
he
so
says
often.
it's holding the roof up.
There you go. That's good shit.
Until he gets to high school, and then he's gonna realize his dad is completely different. Than
my dad's a stripper.
yes. That'd be the worst thing for him. Like, so Dad, what kind of job do you really do? This is the job that I do, son. You see me all day long. So I wanted to go back to it. You said when it comes to male dancers, there's not really like a male industry in Tampa. Or in this area along those lines.
Don't quote me on that because I'm also really not sure about it. But I know that what the male strippers I've seen have always been like review type things. There's never been a club that's like, let's go see the swinging dicks tonight.
I mean, I look at it like you got to have like bachelorette parties and so on and so forth. And you got, as a woman, you have to have a place
we get a lot of girls come in. I mean, girls. Like I said, that really is, it's a hit or miss. Like you have a group of girls that are so excited to be there. They love it. It's empowering. They're having fun. And like usually it's those girls that are coming in with groups of girls, but it's the girls that come in with the boyfriends that are usually a little bit like standoffish to it and just kind of like, I'm just here to make this person happy and I'm going to be miserable. So
that's a shout out to relationships. I think that's what, real. I told you that earlier. That's a possessive mentality, and you don't possess anybody in this world. Like,
yeah, I think that's a setup. Honestly, you pointed out, like, oh, this poor guy's in the middle of a setup right now.
that's primarily he's setting himself up for failure.
And then somebody will walk over, and then you'll see them get up and leave, and you're like, oh. What a car ride home that's going to be.
I'm taking the Uber. I'm going to let you drive home, baby. I had too much to drink. It's all you. No, I'll drive. No, I just want to take an Uber.
Hitting on crazy story with relationships, right? So we had one guy in there. He was in there say it was like a Friday night or something like that. Mm-hmm. He left his car there overnight because he was drinking at the bar next door. So shout out to him for being responsible, Ubering home. Well, his wife brought him back to the club the next day, and he said he was parked at Riveters. But once she saw that it was 01, she went crazy on him and tried to run him over with the car, and then tried to run her car into our front doors. But we had benches there, and her car went up on the bench. She almost hit our front doors. We almost had an SUV right in the lobby.
Oh my God.
So it can really get wild.
God, dude, that's such a
people always ask me how am I single, and I say, those are the type of women that I run into, like the Escalade throughout the front door. That's just kind of how it goes. I don't know what it is about picking, and you have, like you said, 85 women that are there with you. Only you see exactly what women are really like. Most people are like, oh, women are just so nice and so. No, it's a lot of mean women out there.
We're the worst.
Yeah,
we're the worst.
It's you can't pick off looks. You can't pick off who that person is today. You have to pick off what that person's been through and how they handle the worst situations in the world. If the world's coming to an end right now, are you going to just jump ship, or are you holding it down? The reason why I always I'm piggybacking off Mike and telling him I'm rooting for him in his marriage is because when the shit hit the fan, his wife never left. She never wavered. She never said I wanted to be with somebody else or anything like that. She's always said, this is the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. Wherever he takes me, I'm willing to go. And I feel like that's a woman that you can stand behind. That's a woman that you can rally behind. She may drive him crazy from time to time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ash. But
Love Ash.
It's one thing that's missing in this next generation going forward, and that's loyalty. That's saying no matter where you take me, I'm willing to go with you. That's if anybody asks me what's the tool to a successful relationship, I think is that understanding that person isn't going to be perfect. They're not going to make all the right decisions. They're not going to think about you in every decision that they make, but they're not going anywhere along those lines. So to go back towards your line of business, you said, I don't believe in monogamy because you deal with that on a daily basis, infidelity and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You see wedding rings and so on, and that's on both sides. It's not just on the guy's side. Women are just as bad as guys are, and I know that to be true, all because of just dating. So seeing that, you said I'm in a single mentality now. Do you plan on doing this for how long?
I don't know. So it's I don't know if I necessarily plan on doing it forever. I don't know. I feel like I kind of know where I'm at, with my vibe as a person, what I'd be looking for. And it's like I said, again, for me, it's just I just can't, the lie. Once somebody lies, I just lose so much respect. And then it's once I've lost respect for you as a partner, I'm emasculating, or with a girl, I don't, I'll just shut down.
So tell me, have you ever dated the girl?
Yeah.
So it's this, you're open to both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm I don't, so it's the cheating for me has never been an issue. It's the lying about cheating. It's I'm open to it. I don't even have to be present for it, but if we're supposed to be partners and we're together, I think there should be a foundation of some type of best friendship too. When you have a great sexual experience with somebody, you want to call your friend and be like, yo, this just happened. And I feel like your partner should be that person that you should be able to call and be like, I just did something.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That's
come
really,
pick me up.
That's really unique, man. It's so given say just a lot of my family, right? In my family, I have a few uncles, and it's my mom's brothers, but they're very, very traditional. You know what I mean? So I know for a fact, just the idea of balancing the two or comparing the two, it's to me it's mind blowing all in general, because society today in our generation now is pushing towards like everybody love everybody, you know, and it's kind of like, yeah, fuck it, it's all good, like more openness and this and that. Like I think it's cool, like dude, do you, whatever happens. But I have people in my life that would look at me and be like, no, that's terrible, it's horrible for you, you know what I mean? You don't develop real connection, you don't do this, you don't do that. But then when you sit and you hear the other side of it, and it's like there is a standard to it, don't lie to me, you know.
Yeah.
But as far as the other stuff, like that's just this, but the actual connection is in, you know, respect and honesty between those things. And it's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. There's actually a platform. There's something I have to stand on with that. So it's like, it's, to me, it's just cool listening to this. It's really badass because you see so many different people doing all different shit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and again, like I have no judgment. If I don't judge the monogamy, I really don't. I do believe that people can be. I mean, I don't know everybody's personal life out there. I don't know everybody's kink, so I don't know. But like you're right. Like what I do see every night is wedding rings coming in and the things that they do say, and it's like you don't sound very happy in this
current
life.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so most people feel like marriage at some point is a trap. And I don't want it to say it to have a negative invitation behind it, because this is somebody that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with. You just didn't know how they were going to change.
Life is, you're constantly evolving. And that's the thing. I think that's where I think it is. It's like, if I'm evolving, like this relationship also needs to evolve because we're always changing. My thought process at 32 from 29 is two totally different spectrums. And at 25 is when like my brain really started just the way I processed things, the way I moved, the way I thought about things. It was all just so different and new. And I felt so grown up. And now I'm like, I hate everybody.
Okay, I mean that makes sense. I feel like being in your position, I feel like the only thing that you can say is being single and being in a relationship. When you're single, you feel like you're missing out on something. When you're in a relationship, you feel like you're missing out on something as well. But you feel like you have a person that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing, therefore making you miss out on that, on said things.
Yeah.
So being single and knowing that you're missing out on something, what are you missing out on? We already know being in that industry,
somebody
you have
to hang out with. Like, I mean, you know, when I'm cooking and it's like I've got an abundance of food and like, okay, I'll just sit here and eat this alone. Like, and I'll just wait to hear how great it is when I take it into all the girls for work. So it's like, or like just even like cooking with somebody or just like chilling, watching movies all day, like doing nothing like that. I miss that. Like, or knowing when I come home, like, oh, I'm going to have somebody that's not just looking at me as this object or not just trying to fuck me. Well,
they are still trying to fuck you.
yeah. It's like,
They are still trying to fuck you.
so, I mean, but like, you know, they'll also make me a snack. Like, so.
Bring me crackers.
Or like coming home, like joints rolled, like, let's watch our shows. Like, that I miss. But it's like, am I just missing my best friend? Like, is it a relationship I'm missing, or am I just missing my best friend?
I was gonna say, what you're defining too is something you can have with literally just like a really good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. I tell everyone, in order to be in a relationship, you have to have something that you can build off of. Most people have kids because then that gives you something that jointly you can watch grow together.
It's like,
but
let's try to not kill this thing, will we?
Yeah, that's primarily. Let's not try to do too much damage. To what we created. Outside of that, most people are like building a business together, building a lifestyle to which they travel and they see the world. That's why I was like, for your standpoint, what are you missing out on? Because you still travel. You travel with your best friend. I travel with Buck all the time. So you're not really missing out on that companionship along those lines.
Well, some of those trips, like I've gotten lucky, gone on some of the trips with my friends. But like I have gone to trips, like gone to Vegas, balled out in Vegas, like done shit that like we stayed in the palm, like in the Palms, the ones with the pools coming out that they filmed Real World in. Like I'm never gonna stay there, but I didn't have any of my close friends with me. I was like, I was out there with these people working, like so. I was like, well, this is fun, but
not really making memories.
My homie's not here.
What's the coolest place that you've ever gone to for work? Like if you've gone on some type of trip like that.
Honestly, coolest trip, I would say, we took a private jet. We went to the Green Bay Packer playoff game. And then we went down to Houston and watched a baseball game. And then Boston for a Patriots game. So that was a cool private jet the whole way, too.
Really?
That must have been the baseball player. That's a completely different.
That's insane.
That is kind of when you think about that, going full circle, going from this to that to this. It's all about those experiences in between, in the meantime, between time. So,
dude, you know what is super? It's because obviously, like we hit on it a little bit before. Was sometimes, especially in your role, like you can hit the judgment card from people about certain things and stuff, but. I'll be honest, dude. How many of those people that are sitting there kind of talking a little bit of shit, like, oh my God, she's a dancer, right? Well, all of a sudden you post up pictures that, you're at a fucking Yankees game or you're at the Green Bay Packers game and you're doing this and living life and traveling and having fun. How many of those people have looked at that and be like, damn, that looks awesome.
yes.
Oh, they'll sneak shade. Oh, she's fucking for all that. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, the difference is, people are doing the exact same thing. They're just not open with it. Not you're upfront with who you are, and that says a lot about the character of the person. Because people do the same thing, but they do it behind closed doors or behind people and so on and so forth. You are more upfront that this is who I am, take it or leave it, which is something that you can rally around and say, man.
I pride myself on that heavily. I try to, I've got no secrets. So I feel like once you have secrets is when people can start to like hold things over you or try to blackmail you. And it's like, I've admitted everything I've done and I'll own it. There's things that I'm sure I owe plenty of apologies for, but I'll own it. But yeah.
Have you ever had a sit down conversation with like really close family members about it? Have you ever had difficult conversations in that realm?
So when I first started dancing at Emerald City, I was there for a while and oh man, my poor dad. So I told them, so Steak and Shake was right across the street from Emerald City. So I told my dad I worked at Steak and Shake. So, being a supportive dad, trying to come in, he was asking the people, is Jamie working tonight? And I guess they had just hired some girl named Jamie. And they're like, no, she's not here tonight. So my dad calls me. He's like, I thought you said you were working. I was like, oh, no. I'm working at the mall right now. So I told him I had 2 jobs, working at Charlotte Russe and then I was working at Steak and Shake. So he came over to the mall and I literally had to drive to the mall, walk from Charlotte Russe. I just went there. We went and ate in the food court and then I walked back towards Charlotte Russe, watched him walk out. And then I had to haul ass out back to the parking lot. And I felt so bad. I felt so bad for lying to him. And my parents found out that I was a dancer because my boyfriend at the time, so I was on one of the flyers, their promotion flyers. Mm-hmm. My boyfriend at the time went and grabbed a stack of them and just threw them all over my neighborhood. So not only did my parents find out I was stripping, but so did the entire Grove City.
Okay.
Everybody found out.
He did that on purpose?
He did that on purpose. Yeah.
That was in Grove City?
Yeah. That was when I lived right down the road from Blue Lagoon.
Dude,
that's when we had New Year's party? Blue Lagoon? Was that the New Year's?
No. That was we were at the Pearl. You remember that?
I love the Pearl.
What was it called?
Juniors. It will always be juniors.
So that's what it was. That's what everybody called it.
Fun fact: before that, it was Lynn's Lounge. Lynn was my grandmother.
Oh wow, that's fantastic.
Okay.
We're old school here.
Florida Avenue, right across the head. It was Barnacle Bill's, that restaurant.
Yeah.
Remember? I lived at the end of Florida.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was a little trailer.
I remember that.
I shouldn't have said the trailer part, but
edit out.
You're talking about where you come from, not where you are now. So,
I didn't know you lived that close.
Yeah.
When we were I didn't know that.
So how did your dad take that news when he seen the flyers? Because I know he had to see
They
the
were
flyers.
just more mad that I lied. I was 18, and I had already put them through the ringer of shit. So I was like, what the fuck are you lying about?
We know.
Of course we don't want that, but you're taking care of yourself. You're not asking us for money. You got a roof over your head. Okay, Don't lie.
So after that, it was an easy conversation to have like this.
Well, there really wasn't too many conversations after that. It was kind of oh, how's work? Good. great. Like,
I mean,
I bought a new car. Cash.
I mean,
It's
as
all
a
good.
dad, you're like, okay. I mean, this is her choice. At the end of the day, I can't make the choice for you.
And I mean, they really weren't in the position to tell me shit either. Like, he kind of had his own financial issues, like, and he was getting sick, and like my mom was going through her shit, like menopause and a divorce all in the same time. So like, they were in no position to try to tell me anything. Like, why don't you guys get your shit together and then we'll circle back.
I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now, I want to tell you, like,
We interrupt this podcast to bring you Sunterra Solar Solutions, a leading edge solar company committed to making sure they provide a phenomenal experience to its customers. Going solar was one of the best decisions that I ever made. Not only did they provide me a no hassle experience, it didn't feel like a sales experience. It felt like an amazing person to person having a conversation on whether solar was going to be right for me. I was fortunate enough to not only lower my monthly energy cost, but they gave me an option to be able to create a stabilized monthly bill that I could prepare around. I qualified for a new customer incentive that put cash in my hand after installation, as well as I qualified for a tax credit at the end of that same year after I had it installed. All in all, not only was it the best decision I ever made, I lowered my monthly energy costs, I stabilized my bill, I put a ton of cash in hand. It felt like I got paid to go solar. And my most favorite part that I haven't even mentioned, it eliminated my exposure to future increasing rates from the utility companies. So if you think going solar is the right thing for you, by all means, hit us up in our DMs. We can connect you with a sales associate today. And now back to the episode.
have you ever done like private events? Like we always talk about like bachelor parties and so on and so forth. Have you ever gone to?
No, never, nothing like private, like getting hired to come and do that. No.
You know, we're interested in that at all. Like,
No. I can just go to the club and do that, and I'll have security at the club at least.
so it's always a matter of protection at the same time.
I mean, well, you got to think about it. If you're going into a room full of guys, right, and it's just me and say another girl,
Yeah.
you have no idea what kind of drugs those guys are on. You have no idea like how creepy they are, how handsy they are. And like, and if you're just there and then everybody's getting like anything can happen. You can't put that past people at all. So, I mean, it just matters. Security.
I feel you on that. God.
I just feel like you always. I mean, you got to your point. You always need a level.
Yeah,
a layer
you have
of
to be
protection.
proactive in your own security. You have to. And I mean, that's just not just the stripper. It's just anything you do anywhere. Like, what do they always say before girls get into their car? Look into your back seat. Like, just little things you got to do to make sure dumb shit doesn't happen. Because when you slack, that's when dumb shit happens.
I mean, as a man, I don't have to look at my backseat or things like that. You guys have to be a whole lot more alert and oriented than the guy.
Oh,
We have, it's really about where we are, rather than I'm not going to a bar and being concerned about somebody being in my backseat. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm not the average size guy. I'm definitely not the smallest guy when you see. So you're gonna be in for a nice little Royal Rumble when it comes to me. So it's not one of those things where as though you're still frail, you're still innocent to a degree when it comes to
Yeah, like
that
I can
part.
put up a fight, but I mean, like, one to the dome, like, all right, well, just take me now, I guess. Like,
That makes sense. I mean,
Sounds terrible.
it sounds terrible.
Yeah, that
Like,
sounds fucking horrible.
I mean, so you have good nights and you have bad nights. On those shitty nights, how does it feel? What's your morale like when you leave?
I want to fucking go home. Like, it sucks because you feel like you just wasted a bunch of hours doing nothing. But then again, like, what else would you be doing? Like, I'd be sitting at home smoking weed, like, spending money.
Yeah.
So is it just like you just work on the weekends, or is it like you work periodically throughout the week?
So because I'm also staff, I work every Wednesday, every other weekend, and then every other weekend I dance, and then Thursdays I'll usually dance. So
you typically have Monday and Tuesday to just.
yeah, and then sometimes I'll go in on Monday or Tuesday because those weeknights when like nothing's really popping off, it's better quality customer than quantity. Like we'll make most of our big money customers are coming in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Sundays, that kind of shit. So.
Because you don't have anybody to compete with. To me, I feel like I've been in enough strip clubs don't judge me. To when you know on the weekends it's a plethora of people around. Whereas though Monday,
Oh yeah,
and
you're not
Tuesday,
sitting anywhere, especially in my club because we're open till 6 a.m. and longer if you're getting dances. But it's an after hour spot, so at 3 a.m., like the mass influx of people that come through is just it's really neat, but at the same time, it's like really overwhelming. Like, oh,
Yeah.
so many people.
these are the people that are leaving the club. So they
Yeah, so
really
they're all hammered. They're ready to just come throw money at stuff. So the weekends are really good quality for the stage money. Like stage money is great on the weekends. It's really hard to kind of get people back to like champagne rooms when you're like trying to work your way through the crowd and you can't move. People are stuck. People are drunk, not moving. Like,
Yeah. Do you ever feel like it's like a sales job?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I get told all the time. Like they want me to come work for their sales companies all the time. Like
That's awesome.
upsell on this thing.
Yeah.
Like
God.
I didn't even know they had other employment opportunities. Like, you know what? You don't have to be doing this. It's always that one guy that's like, I'll take you home. I'll take care of you. You don't have to do this. That's why I always, when I envision, being an exotic dancer, I envision, what's that name? What's her name? Julia Roberts, Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
Like the
a little different, but all right.
just meet this guy. He's like, you know what? You're so beautiful. You don't have to do this, and then he just takes
Come
you
hang
out.
out with me for the week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you ever did that? Like went to work, and the guy was like, you know what? I'd much rather take this back to a different. Come hang out with me instead of going out for a date. Like, let's leave
That's
now.
happened. Well, no, I've never left the club. Like, you don't leave the club with anybody like that. Give it a night. You really want to hang out with me? We'll hang out tomorrow. I'm at work. I'm not coming after work. I need to assess what's going on. But yeah.
I mean, at 18, you were just gun ho at making money and enjoying the experience.
Well, I didn't really know what I was doing then. So like I gotta say, it took me a couple years to like get in and get comfortable. I mean, I got really lucky because when I first came to Tampa, like that's when I met the baseball players. So I was like kind of in with people getting started in Tampa. Like I kind of jumped right in with the groups that had the money because I was hanging out with athletes and then like the athletes were getting catered to. So the club was catering to me because the athletes were catering to me. So it was like a lot of hierarchy there for that. So, yeah.
I just feel like you hit the scene at the perfect time.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, once that time, it's all about timing.
Yeah.
So that time is Tampa is just booming. So it's going to continue to grow for you to continue to network. And you said you're going to leave this and go right into being, a criminal, a lawyer. So one profession to the next. Now that profession as a lawyer, you can do that to, you damn near die.
It's in the pocket.
Yeah, I mean, so that at that particular point, are you settling here? Is Tampa your final destination?
It's really hard to think of myself leaving Tampa right now, like at this moment in my life. But yeah, I don't see me like I see when I'm a little bit older and getting more annoyed with the traffic and everything that's bringing through. Like, all right, let's get out of here.
But you'll end up going back home. Because home is
that or St. Augustine. I love St. Augustine.
St. Augustine is just
St. Augustine is dope.
Yes.
Like,
That's fucking.
love St. Augustine.
Very dope.
I only
love
go
it
there during like the Christmas season, like the night of a million lights and stuff
yeah,
like that.
that's nice.
That's when I go. I feel like the bed and breakfast and the seafood there is amazing. But I don't know what it's like all throughout the year. Like I know what it's like November, December.
Well, it's hot as shit in the summer. I'll tell you that much. It is hot.
Yeah.
I don't see myself ever leaving Florida though. Like I'm made for this weather. Like, and even then, it still gets a little bit too cold for me. So maybe a little bit farther south.
Dude, I couldn't wait to get out. To be honest, like when I'm finally done working and like I'm ready to chill, I would go like fucking full Yellowstone. Just get a ranch, not work anything. Just like pretend that I'm a rancher. But I would go, just pretend.
Kicking the grass around.
Yeah.
So you trying to tell me you're not horseback riding out there? You're not
No,
going?
probably not.
No?
But I mean, honestly, just when I'm done and I'm like chilling, because there comes a point in time in everyone's life. I don't care. You just like, you know what? I'm ready to chill, and I want to sit outside and I can see like a mountain view, drink coffee, wake up, drink beer if I want to, like whatever it is I want to do. I can do it on the front porch and just fucking sit there all day.
I mean, you can't
That
watch
sounds
like
magical.
it doesn't sound because you're watching life pass you by. Unless you're really going to go do something, you only get it. It's going to come a point where we're all geriatric.
I mean, that's the
You mean like I'm
that's
stuck,
the point. But
not
that's the
going
point where
anywhere.
at that
Yeah.
point I will have accomplished or seen the things that I wanted to see. Like, I don't plan on doing that in the next 10 years. I'll probably do that when I'm 70. But I mean, let's be real. I
feel like you just got to keep it, like, you got to keep body moving. If you're going to be like, I'm traveling this late in life, like, you got to keep it moving. I feel like it's your mind state. Like,
yeah.
my grandmother, 85 years old, running 5 miles every single day, 2 houses in the DR, a house in North Carolina, looking at a house in Montana. Like, she's just buying property all over the place.
That's because
She's driving all over the place, too. And it's like,
Yeah.
at
a
85.
little dangerous, but okay.
At 85.
I don't like that, but
So why did you take behind her? Like if you have someone that's shown the grind, the grit, and at 85 she's still doing it. But
I mean, she's still doing it, but she's still the kind of person that you like watch and you're like, I don't understand. Like, how did any of this work out for you?
Yeah.
Because I watch her try to function sometimes and I'm like, give me that. Like, what are you doing?
I mean, so at 85 she has to leave that to somebody. Like, would you take on what she has right now?
So she's my grandmother. Nothing less. And this is my grandmother. I love her. We are family. But my father was adopted by my grandfather, and he was married to a lady named Lois. She passed away from breast cancer. They met in a grievance group because her husband had passed away too. And then they married like 6 months later. So she was kind of like my step adoptive grandmother. So she's got a lot of family in Ohio. So like we've talked about it. And it's not like too weird or anything because death's a part of life. It is what it is, and we've gone through a lot of it together. She totally nursed my grandfather and my father into their death through hospice. So like death's very aware for us. So we talk about it a lot. The only thing that I've ever really said, I just want your wedding rings and the big house, like just our big house, and that's it. I don't want to leave Florida. You can leave that to everybody else. So.
That's wild.
Why the wedding rings?
So my grandparents' wedding rings. What are you
I'm
talking about?
getting ready to say. I'm like, I don't know. Me, I don't want this. I don't wear a ring at all.
Wow.
Well, yeah, no, I mean that would be like a family
Super
heirloom.
personal thing, yeah.
Yeah, family heirloom thing, dude. That's wild. Again, I got to give you some more kudos on it because that's, like I said, it's a very unique lifestyle, and I think there are going to be a lot of people. Like I said, some of my family watched consistently. And some of the guests we have watched consistently. It's like seeing the other side of life, and it's cool to be able to sit down and you be able to just like, hey, no, this is how I fucking live, dude. This is just rock it out. Every day is a new party, and we'll just figure it out. Some days I'm gonna chill. Some days, I could end up in the club seat of a baseball stadium. You never really know. Like
It's a good time.
that's yeah, because it's
all the free nuggets.
yes, and it's cool because like. I think we talk about it as kids. We really talk about that being like free and just going and doing your fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because depending on the path you choose, like life gets in the way. Things become more important and then you kind of restrict yourself. Whereas you didn't do any of that. You have freedom, 100%. You have the ability to go do the things that you want to do. You're making great money so you can travel. You can see all the things you want to see, and to me that's fucking awesome. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
To me, I feel like it's awesome, and I have the real question: like, do you see yourself having a family?
I mean, I would love to, but I don't know. I'm like in a mind state right now. Like I love being able to pick up and go, like, or like not having to worry about I don't know. That another person existing and somebody being mean to them or getting hit by a car, just all the things that come with being a parent. Like I gotta give it, especially nowadays. So I mean, I'm open to it, but I don't know in today's society if that's just if it would work out for me in that way.
Yeah.
It's a job, nonetheless. Both of those are a job. It's just being a parent is just that.
Yeah,
it's just a job. You're entitled to something else.
But it's also giving up a lot of selfishness. Like I'm I'm very selfish, I guess, in that aspect. Like I like not being screamed at first thing in the morning about nothing. Like, I mean, I have nieces. I have lots of nieces and nephews. So I fully understand. I'm fully engaged with these kids. Like, it's a lot. Like, after a couple of days, I'm like, I'm going to go home. So.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I admire it. I think it's fantastic. People that eventually, like you said, you're not in a rush to do those things. And I think that's the way you should do it. There's some people that, you know, will never have kids, never have that family lifestyle, but they'll be, you know, doing what they want to do until it's done, you know? Honestly, I love it. I think it's fucking awesome.
I mean,
If I were you, I would never change it.
I mean, at all. I wouldn't tell you from this side, being a parent, to that side, not being a parent, that you have anything to be envious of. It's just you're watching something that you created.
Yeah. No, I think that would definitely be cool. I think, and I also like childbirth, I think, is the coolest thing. I've watched 2 babies be born, and I think that is just so cool. And
my
like
God.
the fact that my body could do that, like I want to see what my body can do. So I think it's not even so much like having the kid. It's like, what can this thing do?
Hey, she watched labor and said, "Challenge accepted."
Sounds. I mean, I've
Yes.
been happy with the what was it, Black and Mild coming out. I'm like, hey, this thing can do anything. This thing can do anything it wants to. I don't
Lady
know about
of
the
many
childbirth.
talents.
Yeah. I don't know about the childbirth because you got to watch your body uncontrollably lose everything. Like you know, you gain weight, your ankles get swollen, your nose get fat, and then you go through, you know, all that.
Did you say nose get fat?
It's a lot of things that happen to a
Is that
woman's
a
body.
thing?
Yeah,
Like-
it's a lot of things that happen to a woman's body when they go through that. Like, it's some women that can't even, you know, do a jumping jacks. They'll pee themselves. Like, once you have a baby, it's a wrap. Like, you just said, I'm going to sacrifice my body so that this person can have a life.
Yeah.
Just used and
Dude,
abused.
That's wild.
And it'll never be the same again.
That's fucking,
Never be the same again.
that's crazy.
So,
If people do a jump jack, just piss all over themselves.
for real.
No, it's
shout out to
for
the
real.
moms.
Like my friends, like love them all. They're fantastic. But
They can't do anything.
yeah, there's things that they're like, no, we can't do that. Okay.
We can't do
Can't
that.
do that.
Shit, I forgot a panty liner. Like, what do you
So-
need that for?
All right, so we gotta get on to our favorite segment.
What's
right?
that?
Spice of the week.
The spice of the week. I mean,
Spice
I'm not
of
going
the
to set it
week,
off.
baby.
I want Jamie to set it off. Do you know what the spice of the week is?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
go
we have an
ahead.
avid watcher.
Honestly, oh yeah, I know what that is.
Okay, so go ahead.
And honestly, this isn't going to be that great. So your spice of the week will probably be nice and humble
Okay.
compared to what I got. I know you always get shit on.
Mine is usually dog shit compared to Keon's. He's always got some deep emotional thing. As we all can tell from the episodes, Keon's a very deep man. Thinks
It's not
about
even
stuff.
that. It's just I'm single. You're not gonna have the spice because you're bored.
Come this way.
You're married. Me on the other hand, I'm here for the party. I'm here for the entertainment. I'm here for the experience because once you're in a relationship,
You gotta come this way.
it becomes big guy. I'm gonna tell you this right now. They can see me. I'm not that damn dark. I am a little dark. I'm not that damn dark. They can see me. It's not that bad. But for me, I feel like I'm gonna have fun because there's days in which I have my son. There's days in which I don't have him. The days in which I don't have him, I always tell him like, "Daddy has a good life, with or without you. This is a life worth living.
Yeah.
With you, it's great. It's awesome. But understand, I had a life before you got here, and before you got here, I was a wild guy. Now that you're here, I'm still a wild guy. I just know I got to come back home to you, and I have to be accountable when I get back home to you.
Yeah.
So that's primarily it. I'm gonna always have fun. I feel like you only get a chance to do this once.
Yes.
So do
Yeah.
it. Do it and make memories.
As we know, it is sponsored by Joe's Backyard Barbecue. Go check it out. Order from Joe's. Jamie.
Yes, I do.
What you got?
Check
What is
that
your
out.
what is your spice of the week?
So my spice of the week actually just happened last night. Me and some of my closest friends we went and saw a concert. Flosstradamus, shout out Floss.
Okay.
And it was just, there was a moment where we all just kind of like linked up and was just headbanging together, and it was just a really good time to be
Yeah.
with them. So one of my favorite DJs, some of my favorite people at my favorite venue.
That's the reason why she lost her voice.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, apologies. I swear this is not my sexy voice. This is not what sells everything.
That's the reason why I was like, I didn't ask her, did you work at a call center? Like, hey, baby, this is that late night call. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Your voice, I'm going to sleep, baby. I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
It's completely, now that I heard how your voice really sounds. It's completely different.
Yeah.
My spice is a little bit different. I think Jamie knows where I went. What's the name of the island that I went to? It's in Tampa on the Riverwalk. You just get on the boat and you go all the way.
Beer Can Island.
Beer Can Island. Beer Can. If you guys have never been to Beer Can Island, shout out to JB. I went out there and it was like yachts. We're on the Riverwalk and we're going. And I'm like, hey, I know we're on the boat, but let's party with the people on the yachts. And JB was like, listen, where we're going, they're probably going as well. But I promise you it's going to be more fun. And I'm looking at everybody on the yachts twerking and dancing. I'm like, nah, I'm pretty sure the party's right there. And they're inviting us in and all that good stuff. I'm making eye contact. And he's like, man, just roll with me. It's only going to take us a little while to get there. We get there and there's boats everywhere. Balloon blow-ups. They got their bar out there, the tiki bar, beer pong, you name it, they have it. And it's a kid-friendly area too. You got kids running around. They're on the blow-up dolls.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
It's kind of like a sandbar out on Boca Grande, only without the tiki bar and the giant inflatable.
Yeah, that's what it's giant inflatable and all that good stuff. The difference is it's still spring break. So I'm out there and these kids are like, oh, it's the best spring break. I'm like, man, I'm a little old for spring break. I'm just letting you know right now.
I'm just out on a boat
I'm
day.
just out on a boat day, but don't get it twisted. I'm here for the fun as well. Needless to say, I lost my glasses, did backflips off the boat. You just was a big kid, and then all of a sudden, you had to come back here.
Aww.
So just hanging out with your friends on the boat in the middle of nowhere, someplace you've never been, was the time of life for me.
That sounds fantastic.
I will say I thought about you, big guy. I was like, I don't know why I never brought this place up to Bruck. Like, this got to be, we missed out on something together.
Yeah, we did.
You can't do this if you're in a relationship, Bruck. We're not going to go down that path. I will have to answer to Ash, and I don't want to answer to Ash. So that's where I'm at with it.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I'll do it by myself, big guy. I'll do it for both.
I'll send you pictures.
I'll send you pictures.
You won't believe it, but I'm having a great time. Hey, fuck you.
I'm just letting you know. That's just where you are. Eventually, I'll be where you are. I'll be in a relationship. I know that for a fact. I just don't. I feel like it's all about timing. You have to find the right person that understands what they want, what they don't want, and how they can grow with you. Because if they don't realize how they need to be watered, they'll never grow. And that's so important. So just taking your time and understanding that person is not going to be, it's no rush in getting that person. Let them develop, let them blossom, let them grow, and find out who you are, your kinks, the things you don't like, the things you do like. Where does that go for you? What sets you off? Everyone has triggers. What's my trigger? For me, I feel like I'm an always happy, even keel guy. But we all have things that we care about. We all have things that take us into a dark area. And I don't know what that is yet. So I want to learn me before I fully divulge that to anyone else.
Yeah. So that's a great one. See, that's hard to follow those two. As usual.
We just said we went to go party with friends. That was really, we just did it in a different area.
Yeah, but
that's it. We got a couple
I haven't
drinks.
partied with friends in a while, so that made me sound like a fucking loser.
Hey, shout out to you. You were the babysitter yesterday. I'm with
What are
it.
you talking about? You guys just had this party yesterday with flowers and ice cubes and shit.
Well, actually, that goes into my my spice. So actually, my spice was basically being able to hang out, be a kid again, right? So yesterday, my man went to go party. I was like, hey, don't worry about it. Bring Mikey over, the kids, and I'll hang out all day with the kids, right? There's a moment. We spent about 3 hours playing Nerf gun war, right? But we took it to a whole new level, right? It's basically like, imagine Manhunt with Nerf guns, or imagine if you're doing it with paintball, right? So it was like those three had to go outside. They count to 50, and then you got to come in, and you got to like Call of Duty Warzone this thing. Come find me and shoot me. They got 10 lives and I got 10 lives. You know what I'm saying? So when it was dope, bro. It got
so
real
jealous
intense.
right now. It sounds like a really good
It
time.
was a great fucking
Trust
time.
me. I got 10 guns at the house just for that reason.
I got a couple of speakers throughout the house. So I Bluetooth to the speaker, and then I turned on jungle noises, right? So throughout the whole house, you hear nothing but like the jungle and like birds and animals and like rain and all this other shit. So it was like putting it in the environment, right? And it was so funny, man, because there was a point where first thing they did, they were like, all right, they just waited by the back door. First time they just like, all right, we counted 50, let's go. Open the door, and I'm standing right there and just pop all three of them.
Oh my God.
Right? And then I'm like, you guys are dead. Start over, right? Close the door. They're like, all right, man, we're going to do this. They tried the exact same thing, but from a different door. So pop them all again. Before the game really even starts, I kind of cheated, but still, I'm entitled to it. So we're fine.
I pay rent. Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
I pay this guy.
I own this bitch. Yeah. So then, but after they all died, they went through 3 different entries, right? Finally, they're like, hey, let's think about this. Let's split up, right? Let's do this. One person go to this door, one person go to this door. The other person look through the window, see if we can see him. So they started strategizing, right? We got like 2 hours into it, and it was getting so fucking real. Like Mikey would open the door, so like if I was standing there, no one was there, I couldn't just shoot him. And he would like peek, he would peek, and then he'd send Ryder in. He'd close that door and he'd go around to the other door and do the same thing for Avery. And then he'd come back and back up Ryder. And then they started strategizing and doing all this and that. It turned into such a blast, and it was a great time.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
It was a great fucking time. I mean, I don't know how you compare that to going to an island, doing backflips off a boat.
I don't know, playing Nerf guns with a bunch of fucking kids.
Right there. You mean that's right there with it? I just seen naked women. That was
Sounds like next party I planned.
Yeah.
It's gonna sound something like that.
I can't wait to take those kids paintball
exactly.
shooting.
My spice of the week was being able to be a kid again. They gave me a big boost for the rest of the day, and I'm still feeling it today. I was like, man, yeah, I had a great fucking time.
Murked those kids.
But yeah, I did. I fucking murked him, bro. No doubt about that shit. When he got back, told him immediately. First thing he gets out of the car, and I'm like, bro, I smoked Mikey. Killed him 10 times, baby. I still had 4 lives left. It was gonna suck. You know what I'm saying?
And Mike hates losing.
So he's like, oh, great. Thanks for this drive home.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, well, first and foremost, man, I'm gonna thank you for coming on and just kind of sharing your life with everybody and sharing your thought processes and the things that you do on a daily basis. Like I said, when I had messaged and reached out to you, man, I was so interested in I really was. I was so interested in your lifestyle and just I've seen. Because we haven't really been able to connect for, probably 15.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Probably like 15 years.
Wait a minute. We did have that one time. At one time.
That was keep down the deal.
What a freak moment that was.
Yeah, it was so funny. We were walking in there, and I was like, yeah, I've never been here before. And then behind the glass, Mike fucking Brock. Oh, shit.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah,
full of shit.
That shit.
Full of shit.
It was wild. No, I'd never been there before.
I tell everybody that story, by the way.
Bro, it was.
Now I know who the
hilarious.
other person is. I'm like, bro, he's never been here before. Mike
Never.
fucking Brock. I'm like, yeah. He's a celebrity inside this place. This doesn't make sense
He's
at
here
all.
all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time, yeah. It goes
now
broke.
I know what married men do.
So, but again, like I said, I thought it was going to be such an interesting podcast. And I think people that are listening, I think there's going to be a very different ideals that you can get out of this. Like seeing people on the other end of the spectrum, how you live your life. There's so many people that just live their life and it's like paycheck to paycheck. I got to go to work. I got to do this. And like I said earlier, you're just a total aspect of freedom. It's like the opposite end of the way you live. And I admire that a lot because I'm always very restricted in the things that I have to do. And that because of jobs, because of being a parent, because of doing this and doing that. And there's times when we were in college, I told Keon, I said, I'd never be a dad. Ever. I wanted to live just like that. I want to be able to pick up, go where I want to go, do what I want to do, And then, you get into jobs, you get the dreams of making money, and then you become obsessed with it. Then you have kids and you get married. And it's like, it's a unique perspective.
I never let go of that dream. I'm just letting you know right now.
I know, right? But it's such a cool perspective. And being so the fact that you do have a job that's very unique. And I think people should hear more about that because people hear that stuff and they just automatically hit like a judgment. I don't think you should. I don't think you should at all. I think, understand a few years in that person's story. Maybe they absolutely love what they do. Maybe they find it enjoyable. Maybe it pays you enough and you have enough freedom to be able to just pick up and fucking go wherever you want. Like, you know what I mean? It's not always some weird story that we always see in the movies. Like, oh, well, she had nothing else to do, so she, started dancing, blah, 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 single mom. Like, it's not always like that,
I mean, yeah, but it's out there though. So
It is.
I
It is.
understand. I fully understand where all that stereotyping comes from, where the judgment comes from. But at the end of the day, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I
really
feel like
don't.
the judgment.
You're having fun.
The judgment comes only because of a religious standard. Like everybody that's attached to the freedom God and so on and so forth. Then you're like, oh, it's Jezebel's. Listen, every part of our history had women. The naked hustle was the first job that they had.
Yeah.
They couldn't work back in the day.
Yep.
So every part of American history has your job in it, and it's always been needed for guys that are frustrated, for guys that can't get women the way in which normal guys can. And this is only a certain percentage of guys that can. I never had that problem, but nevertheless,
Throw that in there.
I want to throw that out there.
In there real quick.
Never got that problem, but
Yeah.
it's a certain percentage of guys that just don't get attention, and for you that's in that industry, I tip my hat to everyone that does exactly what you do, because you're empowering men that don't really feel gratified. Don't hear you're awesome, you're attractive, that you are exactly what I'm looking for. Guys don't really hear affirmation. In the strip club, you hear all the affirmation that you need to last you a month or a week or to get you through that night.
Yeah.
So I'm always excited for what you do, and I want that line of business to stay open. And I love the mere fact that you continue to not only just dance, but you're still there. You're part of the atmosphere. Being a bartender or serving drinks, you're still a part of what keeps this country going full circle. Because if you don't think the naked hustle
Man,
does,
I like that.
it's something else. So I tip my hat to you.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you,
and side
boys.
note, this Ace of Spades, this is the first time I ever had this. So I will say, Buck and Mike told me to mix it with Monster. And I was like,
Who the hell told you that?
That's what they told me to do.
Yeah, I told Chris said it first, and I was like, yeah, and well, no, he said it for getting jacked up.
Yeah,
'Cause, you mix that up with a little bit of an energy drink. It's almost like a Jaeger bomb.
I'm not listening to Chris anymore.
Why would you take advice from, no offense, addicts? Like, they'll mix anything.
I love that.
He's
Love
not
you,
even
Chris,
here to
but,
get roasted.
Yeah, make sure you cut that up. Why would you take advice from him? He ruined Ace of Spades.
Clearly didn't make good decisions.
Yeah, at all.
Clearly, but again, man, thanks so much for coming on, dude. It's been a great time, I'm very confident one day in the future we'll probably sit down and have another one.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm down.
Yeah, dude.
I'm gonna hang out with Jamie. I don't care what y'all say. I'm gonna hang out with Jamie off camera. Like, I don't care what you guys think of me. At the
Going
end
to
of
the
the day,
strip club.
she is amazing. It's a movement. You gotta be a part of it.
Jump on the bandwagon.
Jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
At the end of the
cool.
day, if you guys have a problem with it, that's a you problem. Shout out to Josh G.
Yes, that's it. So before you do leave, make sure you guys subscribe, comment, like, all the great shit. And if you do get a chance, make sure you go to Tampa. Check out
Hit
Miss
up
Jamie.
2001 Odyssey, baby. Drop Jamie, the waitress, name at the door. Got your cover.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go.
I'm just dropping it anyway. Like, hey, it's done.
I know her.
I know Jamie. I know Jamie. She knows Bruck.
That's fantastic. All right, guys. Be easy.
Bye.
Two dimes and a token. You make roasted.